back, guys. Today, open the monster. Haven't even been out here yet today, but it is ridiculously hot and humid because it rained like you wouldn't believe, as you can tell. So today, I think what we're going to do, we're going to change this cap and rotor. I want to get that out of there. Now, it doesn't look like it's that old, but I don't know the condition of it. The wires look like they're in semi-decent shape. I've kind of looked at all of them all the way around. They look like they're in pretty good shape, so I might just leave those for now and just at least take the check the condition of this. I also bought a pickup coil just in case. I've owned a Fiero before, and the last one, when I went to go do the same job, the pickup coil looked a little crunchy. Oh look, I can just take that piece of paint right off. Isn't that cute? So, which then I'm going to do this winter. We're going to strip this down and completely refinish it. Probably the valve covers too. But yeah, let's get that off today. Take a look at the pickup coil. I want to make sure that it's still in decent shape. If it is, great. I got a spare. It was very inexpensive. If not, then hey, we'll swap that too. Let's pop the distributor out and we'll make sure we get it back in and get it timed. So let's go grab some tools and let's do that. All right. So down here, gotta take two of these off. There's one there, one on the other side. I believe they're 7/32. I could be wrong. Oh, look at that. First try. And it was pretty loose. I don't like that. But, I mean, they're not supposed to be cranked, so I'll lose a socket down there. I know it's down there, right there. So let's get that one out too. Come on. Nope. Yeah, they were fairly loose. Let's pop the socket wrench off of this, shall we? Use it like a nut driver. And these screws should theoretically stay with the cap. If they don't, I'll get my magnet and we'll get them out of there, but I'm pretty sure they're going to stay with the cap. This cap's fairly clean, so somebody might have just changed it before I got the car. Maybe not, not sure, but let's not have that fall into the engine bay. There we go. Ooh, before we flip this over, let's look at that pickup coil. That's not necessarily good now, is it? I think we're going to change that anyway. Pull piece looks good, but the pickup looks rough. Module looks to be original. Let's clean that up if I can get those screws out. All right, ready for the... Oh yeah, how's that look? Look, it was crunchy on that. Oh, that's stuck on there. There we go. Yeah. I think this was probably a good idea to change these. Doesn't look horrible, but there's definitely, you can see right up in there, there's, get back a little bit, there's some corrosion up on that. So we're going to get rid of that. I'm glad I bought a new one. Here comes the fun part. Oh, that's not good. I think we may have just found the source of the slight stumble. Look at all the stuff growing on those. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Or not. Alright, we're going to get this out of here. Yeah, see the screws are captured. They should be. So we're going to get this off of here. Let me go get a marker. Sharpie or something. I want to mark the wires. I could just trace them back to where they go. I believe. So this side is number 1. See, I got to look to see where the firing order. I mean, I know what the firing order is, but I can't remember if that's number 1 or if this is number 1. It's hard to see which cylinder head is usually farther forward is number 1. That should be this one. So 135, 246. But it's easier just to mark them. I could put some tape on them and mark them, or just hit them with a Sharpie. It doesn't really matter all that much. Since we're not going for, Concours show car here, I'm just trying to make the thing run. No, you know what? Let me see something. Oh, yeah. Well, at least they were brass. Well, the terminals look good on the wire, though. Coil wire, anyway. So, yeah, let me go get a marker. Let's mark these. I got to figure out what size and where the distributor hold down is so I can get that, so we can pop this distributor out. I'm going to mark that, too, because I believe it's perfectly timed right now. It may not be, so I'll check timing when this is all done, but we need to get this distributor out of here so we can disassemble it and get that pickup out of there. So let me go do that. Okay, got them all marked. So it was correct in my assessment. The rearward cylinder head is the one that has the number 1 all the way towards the front of the engine, and then they go back and forth over the engine. So like I was saying, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The firing order is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is awesome. So, and it goes clockwise. So 1 is here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got them all marked, easy enough. Mark that one C for coil, obviously. So now we can just pop these. That one's loose, which I find to be interesting. Since the cap is loose, we can just pop it up. And I could just do one at a time. If you're always unsure, I mark that one number 1 too, just so I know when I put it back on. Oh, look at that! It's got a little bustage right there. Little bustage. Isn't that awesome? So I mark that one as 1 just in case. If you're unsure of the firing order or anything like that, what you can always do is just take one off at a time, and then put it on your new one when you get it. If you have the new one right in front, you just pop it off, put it on the new one, and then put the whole thing down, and you're done. We're popping the distributor, so I need to get this out of the way. So, and we're going to replace that anyway because it's pretty well trashed. So let's get all these guys out of the way here. Just kind of toss them aside. And the hold down looks like maybe a 5/8. Sure does. I think I'm going to pop the ignition module off because these steel lines are kind of in the way of this coming straight up, because the distributor's not going to be able to cock. Once it gets to here, you still got to pull it straight up for a little while before the shaft clears the block. So I need to get the tool to get those off of there. And we're not going to get lucky, I'm sure, and have it be the same. I was wrong. Look at that. They're identical. This one feels a little crunchy. This is the one I'm worried about. Getting this module out of here. So I know it ran, so this module does work, but I'm definitely going to clean it. That one feels good. That one came right out. But this isn't the one I'm worried about. It's the other one. Yeah, I'll probably clean those up, soak them in some evapor rust. Magic elixir. I don't know if I like that. Back and forth a little bit. I don't want it to break off. This is a trick you can do if you feel something that doesn't feel right. Slowly go back and forth with it. Don't go ripping on it. Each time you go just a little bit more until it feels normal. Yeah, see, it's starting to feel better now. It's starting to break loose. Yeah, now, there we go. Now we're good. It would have been bad if that was snapped off. And you gotta drill it out. Or you buy a new distributor, which that's always an option. Yeah, it was a little rough. I didn't twist it, so we're good. Although directly under the head's looking a little rough. So try to clean that up, see what we can do with that. Pop this bad boy out of here. Oh, there's all kinds of room. Yeah, all kinds of room. I was hoping to be able to unplug it with the connectors on it, but I don't think that's going to happen. We're going to have to move these out of the way, I think. You got to move one before the other because they are keyed. Oh, jeez. There we go. Oh, that didn't look good. That's okay. It was just a retainer. There we go. Okay, so I can leave that one there. Let's try to unplug that one. There we go. And you got 2 in the back, which I'm going to need a screwdriver for. So let me get that. Yeah, that happens. Plastic gets brittle. It just breaks. It's just the tang. The rest of it is okay. A little green goo growing on it though. Gotta clean that up for sure. See if we can sneak this bad boy out of here without going crazy. Breaking anything else. There we go. Look at that. Been in there quite some time. It is the original GM, but it needs cleaned badly. Heat shield is still on. That's good. Like to keep that. Connectors aren't too bad. Just needs to be cleaned. So we'll clean that and try to put it back in. That seems okay. Now this, look at that. There's just chunks of it just falling off. It's pretty awesome. All right, so I'm gonna get down. I don't know if I can get you in there to see it. Get this connector out of the way first. Maybe you can see it. So all the way down. Yeah, it's hard to see. It's down, straight down around there. That bolt is what holds down this distributor. Now I need to take a mental note. It's going to be hard to mark it because there's nothing that can really, and I could go against this shield. That's not necessary because this moves, so that's not really going to help me any. Now we'll notice this. Look at this. This is right next to that. Okay. Now what you really want to pay attention to, the housing isn't as important as this, where that's pointing. So this needs to get marked to like everything. If you could make a straight line, that's great. I might, it's really tough because there's nothing really close. This thing sticks up so far. It's not like a Gen 1 small Chevy. I might just make a mark like here. Small little mark right there, which actually I could do with this. There's many, many, many better ways to do this, by the way. Because this is all going to get blasted. Yeah, look at that, the whole thing is just trashed. Actually, why am I even doing that? I'll just use the marker. We're going to put a little mark right there. Just a small dot, so I know that this has to face that when it goes back in. Because this can go in basically anywhere you want. You can still twist that. This doesn't. This is connected directly to a gear that's driven by the cam in the engine. And this is what times everything. So you have to have this correct. And then it'll run at least, and then you can set you fine-tune your timing with that. And then there's a light in the front, or a slot on the crank pulley. Use a timing light. But we'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, look at all the corrosion in there. Man, looking a little rough. That's what happens when the thing sits forever. God knows how long this thing was sitting. So I'll immediately go get the, possibly that's a 5/8 down there, I'm not sure. I'm going to get my 5/8 distributor clamp wrench. We'll get that out, pop this distributor out. Okay, after much fighting with it, I decided that because you can't, let me get this out of the way too. Oh yeah, there we go, that'll help. See, there you go. Almost got a straight shot down there at it now. Right there. So, I think I'm going to use a crow's foot and a 15. So it looks like I can get a better shot on it right there. Socket wrench somewhere around here, there we go. Put that bad boy like that. About as far as we're going to get it. Yeah, see that? Not so bad, not quite on there. There we go. Oh yeah, now it's super loose. Might be able to get it with my fingers now. Let's try that. Of course, getting my big meats down there, that's always the conundrum. Having big hands does not always help. Makes it a lot harder to get to things. Yeah, there we go. So let's pop this off of there. Now look at that. Cake. You can barely even touch it and it turns. Now, sometimes you can just loosen them, slide it back, which I don't think I left my screwdriver out here. Okay, let's try that. Is there enough room to get down in there? Well, maybe not. Now the hold down is free, which is good. Don't think I can move it back enough to clear the body of the distributor though. Well, maybe. Seems a little tight. I'm gonna try to get this a little bit, loosen it just a little bit more. May end up just taking the whole thing completely out, actually. Oh yeah, that is really tight. I know you probably can't see much of anything right now. I feel bad, neither can I, and I'm right here. Good news is bolt's turning real easy. Come on. Come on. Yeah, that's good of GM to put a 9-inch bolt into a tiny little hole. Look at this thing. Look at that. It doesn't need to be that big. Crazy. I did remove a heat shield there for you, so you can see there's a heat shield that goes here, which you probably noticed a second ago. Remove that just so you can get some better viewage. Oh, even though my hand's probably in the way now. And I'm about to drop the hold down. Yeah, before we do that, a magnet is going to be our friend. Just be a lesson to you kids. Get one of these. These things are great. Funk. Look at that. Got it. I'm going to clean that bad boy off too. Looking a little wet. Alright. would actually be a smart idea. But who wants to do smart things? We're going to clean off a little bit of this base. Maybe with the rag, if we can get it in there enough to actually clean off and get some clean area. Not as clean as I'd hoped. Get garbage out of there. Get out of there, get out of there, get out of there. Is that part of the distributor clamping gasket? Or the distributor gasket? Probably is. And that's not a gasket, that is RTV. So somebody has been in here before. How special. That being the case, what we're going to do, maybe, is mark the distributor base where the distributor hold down bolt is. So maybe I can get it lined back up without having to retime this bad boy. Let's try that. Let's see if it loosens. That's a little loose. There we go. Yep, there we go. Now keep an eye where this turns. And when you go to put it back in, you might be able to drop it straight back down. Still turn right there. So it goes to like right. Where's that pin? Let's try that. Don't have to do that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if I drop it straight back down with that aligned with that, theoretically, you should be good to go. I've used this technique a million times before, and it works great. Look at that. Oh, I'm getting garbage everywhere. Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to have RTV all over the base. Looks like that O-ring could be replaced, for sure. Okay. Let's get this thing out and get it cleaned up a little bit, and then we'll go from there. There it is. Haven't cleaned it, obviously. Come over here. I'll just set it down on the ground, I guess, since I don't have a bench out here right now. Look at this. I already peeled off the big chunk of RTV that was right there, so I'm gonna have to go get a gasket for that. Get the proper gasket, and I think I'm gonna change. God, did that used to be an O-ring? Because it's hard as a brick now. Let's change that too. There is all kinds of garbage. There's an even wear marker on the teeth, which I guess is good. But we need to get this out of there, because look at that thing. Rust. Chunks of garbage. The connector is looking a little rough. We gotta get that out of there. Not looking healthy at all. Pole piece could probably stand to be cleaned up a little bit too. You don't want those actually touching. You want a little bit of space between them so the pickup can pick it up, obviously. Make sure that vent, see, and that vent is not clear. That is a vent. There's two of them. They're supposed to be clean to let moisture and stuff come out, let air kind of circulate through it kind of deal. And as you can tell, they haven't been working for quite some time. So let's get this thing cleaned up. Man, it is looking a little rough. Does look like an original as far as I can tell. Yeah, I believe it's an original distributor, so, and it definitely looks age appropriate, you know, from 1987 to now. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up, and then I'll show you. Basically, we gotta knock this pin out and pull this lower drive gear off. The entire center shaft will come out the top, which allows you to take that pickup coil off of there, which has two little metal clips that hold it in, which I believe the new one did come with. I'll have to look. If not, I'll have to clean those up. Maybe hit them some evapor rust, clean this whole housing, and then we'll drop it back in. The rest of it should be smooth sailing after that, but we're almost halfway there. So let's get on that. All right, here we go. Using a block of wood, I don't want this brass gear to get screwed up. Of course, I don't have a bench to do this on, because this would be a lot easier if I did. Where's the fun in that, right? Where's the fun in that? Yeah, this is gonna be tough. I probably should have thought about that. But once again, where's the fun in that? I just need to get it to come out a little, and then I can flip it. I'll do this side. Moved a little. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to do without a bench vise, but we are gonna try. As you can see, it's popping out. If I could get it to stop spinning. So that, that's what you gotta do. Once again, bench vise. Much easier. Ping. Out there. Should be able to get this to come off of there. I'm gonna have to pry it a little bit. Remember, it's been on there forever, so I'm gonna put probably a screwdriver between here. A little bit. Let's see if I have one sitting over here. Maybe I can just grab it real quick. Alright, well, that's not a small one. It's a big guy, but we're gonna try it anyway. Yeah, there we go. Okay, keep coming. And I'm putting very little pressure on this, and it's coming right off. As it should. There you go. Now, we don't want to lose these. Alright, there it is. I had to put some lube down in there, and then I just kind of spun this nice and free, and it came right out. We're going to clean that up too. But there we go. See how we got it all in pieces now? Isn't this awesome? There's that clip I was telling you about. Yeah, it's a little rough. So I'm going to go get a small screwdriver, not this big honker, and get this clip off of here. This will just fall off, and then I can really clean this housing up a little bit better. As you can see, it's a little better than it was. This is hard as a brick. So I have to call a parts store, see if I can get a new O-ring. It's not even an O-ring anymore. It's like a hard chunk of plastic. This was completely covered in RTV. So I'm guessing at some point this thing had an oil leak. And instead of replacing the O-ring, which would have been an easy thing to do, but they probably didn't want to pull this completely out and have to retime the engine. So I'm guessing they just lifted it up, squeezed a bunch of RTV in there, and then slammed it back down. Which, I mean, I guess in a way it worked because it's not leaking oil there. But I'm going to put the correct O-ring on there. I don't remember if there was a flat fiber gasket that went there too. I'm not sure. If there is, I'll get that too. But yeah, let's get this off of here and clean this housing up a little bit better. Clean this up and then put it all back together. Through the magic of awesome fastness. Clip. Oh yeah, look at this. That's pretty sweet. Plastic nub? Yeah, it's still there. Okay, good. Look at that. There's parts of it just falling off. Pretty custom. Now GM was smart enough to put a dowel pin in this one so you don't screw it up. You don't put it in 180 out. So now, what I need is this guy right here. So let's open this up. Look at that. I almost don't want to touch it with my nasty hands. Does it have the nub? Oh, it does. Which is better. See that? God, you can tell how long this has been on there. That's supposed to be a white wire. Nice not having a broken clip now. No more green fuzzies. We're not having a science experiment. I should probably get a wire brush and maybe clean this up just a little, just a tad. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. We'll get a wire brush, clean that up. Well, the plan was to clean that all up and get it back in here, but that just didn't work out. So, is it ever going to run again? Is it just a parts car now? What did we do? Turn in next week and we'll find out. See you guys soon. Thanks.